Okay guys, I'm back for another recipe today. This recipe is going to be fantastic. We are making pork chops with a cap of bread dressing. This is another old recipe that I'm bringing you guys. This is something that my mom did back in the day. I'm not sure if she used the cut of pork chop that I'm doing today. We are doing center cut pork chops with the bone in, about 1.5 inches. So they're monsters. Well, you see me unwrap these, they're very big. Okay, so very few ingredients. Salt and pepper for the pork chops. That's where you're going to get your flavor from. And we have some bread dressing, some homemade bread dressing that I had made. Okay, I'll post the recipe for this too soon after this recipe, so you guys have it. Okay, you can do any kind of dressing that you want, but this comes out very good. It's different if we pan sear these, finishing them in the oven to about 150, heavily salt and pepper them, and put a cap of stuffing on top. This is something I ate when I was a kid. I'm not sure if anybody else ate this when they were a child or whatever, but I'm gonna make this for you today, and you're gonna see what an awesome meal this is gonna be. Serve this with whatever you want to serve it with. Today we're going to concentrate on just that recipe. I might make a quick pan sauce at the end just for, just for plating, I guess. All right, so that's what we're going to do today. Let me show you exactly. I'm going to throw some of this stuff aside. So I went to my local butcher's and I've got these amazing pork chops. These are look at the size of these things. These things are monsters. All right, so we're going to take these off the butcher paper. I'm going to set that aside, and I'm just going to show you guys how big that these center cuts are. These things are massive. Look at the size of that thing. Okay, so this is going to be great. All right, so we're going to put one there. We're going to put the other one here, and we are going to, all right, so 1 second, we grab a couple of paper towels. What we're going to do is we're going to dab these off, get the moisture off of them, because we want to make sure that we're going to get a good sear on these. Okay, so 2 chops costed almost $14 at my local butcher store. Okay, so make sure you dab all the water off these, because all the moisture, because you want to get that good sear. That's what's going to give you a lot of flavor on these too. Okay, all right, so that's what we're going to do. So let me clean my hands here with my sanitization towel, because we're touching meat. All right, okay, wash, dry. Okay, so on with the seasoning of this. Okay, so as you guys know, pork doesn't have a lot of flavor. Our flavor is coming right from here. We're gonna do all sides. Okay, and we're going to heavily season it. All right, so really throw it on. Don't be ashamed, don't be afraid. This is the only place that you're going to get the flavor besides the, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted, I don't know why, besides the caramelization in the pan. Okay, so just like this, hit them hard. All right, we're going to do all sides, even the fat cap. But I promise you, these are going to be delicious. Okay, all right, we're going to do a little pepper. A little pepper over here. All right, we're going to flip them. with this one. You may think this is a lot of seasoning, but remember how thick that chop is. Okay, it's a thick one. Why did I just want to say that's what she said? I watch too much comedy. All right. Anyways, enough of the enough of the silliness. Okay, so there we have it. We have our chops all seasoned up, salt and pepper on them. And before we do the dressing, what we're going to do is we're going to take these over to a hot skillet and we're going to sear. Oh, excuse me, the pepper got me. We're going to take these over to a hot skillet with some oil in it, some vegetable oil in it. We're going to sear these off. And then we're going to take them as I flip it. I'm going to take the bread dressing, put the bread dressing on top, and then they're going to go in the oven, okay? So hold on a couple minutes and I'll be right back with you guys. All right, so here we go. I got about a 425 degree cast iron skillet. We're going to put a little bit of, we're going to put some oil in this, enough to cover the whole bottom of the pan, okay? We're going to let that heat up. And as I heat up, the only thing I'm going to do off camera here is I'm just going to take some paper towels. I'm going to dab these chops again over on the other side, okay? We're going to get, again, all of that moisture off these chops so we get a really, really good sear. That's the whole catch behind this, is get that good sear, okay? So, there we go. Alright, so they're only going to be in here for a few minutes, just enough to get the sear, and then they're going in the oven. And I'm going to keep you with these this whole time for these, because I want to make sure that you guys understand how that I'm doing this exactly. Okay, so maybe about a minute and a half on each side, and then they go in the oven. I will turn around and try to render a little bit of the fat cap down too. That's actually going to be fantastic when that comes out. So yeah, so it's this is the kind of day it is. Big center cut with the bone in. You can see how big they are. I said to my butcher, I said, you have anything 2 inches? And he says to me, he goes, I can give you something about between 1.25 inches and 1.5 inches. He says, other than that, we'd have to custom cut it for you. I said, yeah, that's okay. I'll take those 2. So I picked these 2 out, and this is what we got. All right, so this is what we're having for lunch, dinner, whatever I decide to do with them. Because you're trying not to cook this like all the way through, right? You don't want to do that, because you got to cook that dressing that's going on top. So you need to allow enough time in the oven, which the oven's set at 400, by the way. You need to let the dressing, make sure that the dressing is cooked the same time that the internal temperature of these reaches about 150. As soon as it reaches 150, they're coming out. So it's just the same thing as doing a steak. Okay, see, we're getting a little color. About another, I don't know, we'll leave it in for another 30 seconds, and then we'll flip these. Now when you put these pork chops in, I did leave them out for about 40 minutes, just so I wouldn't lose the temperature in my pan, but no matter what, you're going to lose temperature. So, you know, that's just what you get, right? Okay, so I think we're going to take this one here. Yeah, see, we got some decent color on that right now. And we're going to flip this one as well. And we're going to leave these rolling for, I don't know, another minute or 2, roughly. And then we're going to pick them up through the fat cap. That's going to be a lot of flavor right here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sear this other side. I'm going to pick them up, and I'm going to sear the fat cap as well. So it's nice when they come out of the oven. and then I'll bring you guys back with me. I'll show you exactly what I got before I put them in the oven, okay? Okay, so I have these now seared exactly how I want them, okay? So what I am going to do is I am going to stick this chop right here because I don't want to over or undercook them, okay? We're going to try to find the center, so I think the center is like right about there. So I take my finger and I put it on the probe just like that, and then we're going to go straight down the center, just like that. Okay, and that's it. So these now are going to go in the oven, but before we do that, we're going to put some nice homemade bread dressing on the top of these. And this was a favorite of mine growing up. My mom used to make these, and these were absolutely delicious. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing over here. We're just going to put some bread dressing here as well. Try to keep it, if you can, the same thickness all the way around so that it cooks evenly. That's the important thing here. Okay. All right, so that's it. These now are going to go in the oven. As soon as I take these out of the oven, I will show you guys. I'll be back with you guys when I take these out and they hit 150. So our pork chops hit 150. Okay, I don't know if you can see that or not. Yep, 150, 151. Perfect. It's exactly where we want them. Okay, so we're going to pull these out and we're going to show you what they look like. Oh boy. All right, so check these out, huh? Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. It's an awesome pork chop. Bread dressing is nice and crispy on the top. Exactly the way I remember them. All right, so what we're going to do, because these are so freaking big, is we are going to, I just have to be careful of my wire there. What we're going to do is we're actually going to use a spatula to get these out because they're that big. 2 people could probably eat literally off one of these. Okay. That's a pork chop. We're going to set them over here in a cooling rack. Just like this. These smell so good, if you can imagine what these must smell like right now. Okay, now it's going to do a little carryover cooking right here while they're resting. Okay, so we're going to leave them here to rest for a little bit. They're going to wind up going up in temperature probably to I don't know, I'm going to say probably somewhere around the 160 mark. Okay, and they're going to be perfect. They're going to be juicy inside. It's all right if they're a tiny bit pink, as long as it hits that 150 temperature. It kills all the bacteria in them. These are ready to eat. As soon as I'm ready to plate these up, we'll take you over. We'll put these on a plate. We'll cut into these. We'll show you exactly what's going on. I am also going to make a little pan sauce here, a little gravy for these. Should be delicious. Okay, hang in there, guys. We'll be right back. Okay, so here we go. We are ready for the pork chop. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I think we're going to get a little, I made a little pan sauce slash gravy, I guess. And these went up in temperature to about 156. All right. And then we're going to just take our pork chop and we're just going to put it right down on the plate. Okay. And then just a little bit on the top. And I think that's it. I think that's it for this recipe. I just wanted to do a nice simple plate for you guys, so you have about an inch and a half, about an inch and a half, inch and a quarter pork chop with homemade bread dressing and a pan sauce. How's that look? Okay, so now what we want to do is we definitely want to cut into this so I can show you exactly what this looks like, okay? Okay, so let's open up this thing. Yeah, see, this is cooked perfectly. I'm telling you, 150 is really all you need. Look at that. So juicy. So right. It's just so right. Now let's take a little piece of this. A little bit of the sauce. Let's see. I took way too much food. Look at the inside of this thing. It's cooked perfectly. It's juicy. There's no hard chewing involved in this, and the bread dressing with the gravy sets this meal off. This is fantastic. I really hope you guys make this. So if you guys make this, let me know how you make out. You need any insight or whatever, just let me know. Put a thumbs up if you guys like this, share it, click the notification bell, and subscribe to my channel if you guys like this. All right, off until next weekend, until I get you guys another recipe. Until then, have yourselves a great week, and it's lunchtime for me. This is all you need.